Well, all right, everybody. So we are here with a new series. We are still doing the War of Immortals, but instead we have taken over TNA Total Nonstop Action. As you can see, we are Double J, Jeff Jarrett. So we are going to bring TNA from the ground. As you can see, not that good a pop all around. So we're a medium-sized company. We are going to try and get all the way to a Titanic or something, like really good. Who knows how long that'll ever take us. But in no matter, we will eventually make it there. So we'll take a quick look at our roster, the titles, the tag teams, and then we will get into booking the first show. So through the whole roster, we got the Black Machismo Jay Lethal, the Monster Abyss, AJ Styles, Alex Shelley, Amazing Red, Andrew Thomas, who is our referee, Angelina Love, Awesome Kong. One of my new signees, Bobby Fish, Brutus Magnus, Chris Harris, Chris Sabin, Christopher Daniels, Desmond Wolf, who I am really happy is here. Uh, Dixie Carter, and I can't get rid of her because a few people enjoy her around. Don West, our color commentator. Doug Williams, Dirty Dutch Mantel. Elix Skipper, Eric Young. Father James Mitchells. Frankie Kazarian. Gail Kim. Hector Guerrero. Hernandez and Homicide. James Storm. Double J Jeff Jarrett. Jeremy Borash. Jesse Neal. The Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle. Lacey Von Erich. Loki. Matt Morgan. Michael Shane. Mike Tenay, ODB, P.D. Williams, Rob Terry, Robert Roode, Rudy Charles, Samoa Joe. Another one of our new signees, Sarita, Shannon Moore, Shark Boy. One of my favorite signees that I've got so far to join us after only a few days simming through. Sheikh Abdul Bashir, I have decided to bring him in. SoCal Val, Sanjay Dutt, Tara, Taylor Wilde, Tyson Tomko, and the lovely Velvet Sky. So let's take a quick check. So we got the TNA Global Championship, the Knockouts, the World Heavyweight, the World Tag Team, and the X Division. So I did change it. I put a weight limit of 220. That's it. That's all I want challenging for it is just lightweight guys. So we'll see how well that works out. And then the tag teams we got is Bad Influence, Beer Money, British Invasion, Inc., LAX, the Motor City Machine Guns, the Beautiful People, and Triple X. So that is all the teams that we got. We'll probably add some more later on down the road. But let's head in and we will skip through all of this. Southeast. Oh man, I can't remember what the heck the name of the place is. We'll just do 1,000 to 4,000. On up. There it is, Universal Stage 21. Although I could have sworn they called it the Impact Zone. Oh well. Yeah, the booking team meeting. Take that. Locker room incidences. You know what? Let's let him come in. Oh, he wants a match. Ah, I can make something work for him. With an automatic idea, poker tournament. I trained Lacey Von Erich. Mojo with amazing red. Got a lot of heat in the locker room. Recent attitudes. Stern warning. Okay, so address the locker room. See if anybody hates anybody. Uh, it's just us, so I don't know if I can do anything. Nope. So it's just Jeff and Kurt hate each other. But nothing wrong with that. So I will be right back, and we will get to our first ever episode of Impact. Well, all right, everybody, the whole show is booked, and let's get right into it now. Starting off in a pre-show bout that had decent reaction from the crowd, but terrible wrestling. ODB defeated Lacey Von Erich in 10:07 by pinfall with a diving Lou Fez press. The crowd is expectant and simmering. The wrestling rating is a 42. The crowd rating is a 38, and the segment got a 48. Lacey had a 33. ODB had a 50. And advanced our knockouts reign. Lacey Von Erich seemed out for her game. ODB seemed out for her game. Don West and Mike Tenay had pretty good chemistry when calling matches. The commentary quality lifted the match, and the color commentary gave it a boost. So I didn't really have anything for Lacey, so she was just put on the pre-show, and I wanted to see how good ODB could be. So she got a 50, so that's not too horrible. So let's head off to our next pre-show match. In a decent pre-show match, Eric Young defeated Rodney Mack in 10 minutes and 24 seconds by pinfall with the showstopper. The crowd is still expectant and simmering. The wrestling rating is a 54. The crowd rating is a 41. And the segment got a 58. So Rodney Mack had a 47. And Eric Young had a 62. The commentary quality lifted the match. So that's pretty good. So, I mean, Rodney didn't do too terribly bad. So, maybe we might see him sometime down the road. Who knows? So let's start the show off with a promo. Welcome to TNA Impact, the hottest wrestling show on the planet today. That's right, folks. This is the place where wrestling truly matters, where every match has meaning, and where we don't just deliver, we over-deliver each and every week. Now, tonight, we've got a card that's going to blow the roof off this joint. You wanted action, you get action. You wanted drama? Oh, we got plenty of that, too. And you wanted to see the best wrestlers in the world today, you're looking at them right here in TNA. Let me break it down for you. First off, we got a blockbuster main event that's got Match of the Year written all over it. On one side, we got the Olympic gold medalist and wrestling machine, Kurt Angle, teaming up with the monster himself, Abyss. And on the other side, two of the most dynamic, unpredictable athletes in this business, the phenomenal AJ Styles and Desmond Wolfe. Folks, that's not just a main event, it's a war waiting to happen. But that ain't all. In six-man action, we got Black Machismo, Jay Lethal, Frankie Kazarian, and Sanjay Dutt joining forces to take on the fallen angel Christopher Daniels, Sheik Abdul-Bashir, and Petey Williams. This one's going to be a fast-paced, high-action clinic that'll leave your jaw on the floor. And let's not forget about the knockouts. The fiercest, most talented women in professional wrestling tonight, Gail Kim and Tara, two legends of this division, team up to take on the beautiful people Velvet Sky and Angelina Love. And trust me, these women don't just compete, they steal the show. So let's buckle up, sit tight, and get ready for a night of non-stop action. TNA Impact is live, it's electric, and it starts right now. So it advanced all our storylines, and we only started off with a couple of road agents, one being Eric Young, and Eric Young could have done better as a road agent. The angle wasn't put together well, so hopefully next week with the few acquisitions that I'm trying to make, we'll be able to get better scores and everything. So we just got to work on that. This angle got the crowd hotter, and it was a great way to start the show off. So that's actually really great that Jeff pulled out kind of a good promo, but we'll see what happens. So let's head into our first match of the night. 62. So he was in a decent match. Christopher Daniels, Petey Williams, and Sheik Abdul-Bashir defeated Black Machismo, Jay Lethal, Frankie Kazarian, and Sanjay Dutt in 12 minutes and 21 seconds when Daniels pinned Jay Lethal with the last rites. And Sheik Abdul-Bashir was the weak link, struggling to keep up with everybody. So the crowd is hot. The wrestling rating was a 60. The crowd rating was a 44. And the segment got a 62. So Sanjay had a 57. Frankie had a 61. Jay Lethal had a 66. Sheik Abdul-Bashir had a 47. Petey Williams had a 66. And Christopher Daniels had a 66. Sheik Abdul-Bashir debuted his evil foreigner gimmick, and it got an initial rating of adequate. So that's not too horrible. I mean, it'll be a lot better. It advanced our X Division Mayhem. Eric Young could have done a better job as a road agent. The commentary quality lifted the match, and then I didn't realize that SoCal Val was Jay Lethal's manager. So I'm going to have to change that in our next episode. So let's head off to our next segment. It's got a 59. TNA. My. What a beautifully chaotic little playground we have here. A place where dreams are made and just as quickly shattered. You see, for far too long, this company has been built on the fragile hopes of so-called heroes. The Kurt Angles, the AJ Styles, the Jeff Jarretts of the world. But hope, my friends, is a dangerous thing. And that's where I come in. You see, I've been the keeper of a dark secret, a force so primal, so unrelenting, that it makes your precious heroes look like mere mortals trembling in the shadow of a god. Ladies and gentlemen, I speak of my monster, the one and only Abyss. For far too long, Abyss has been held back, restrained, like a beast in a cage. But that ends now. No longer will I keep him on a leash. No longer will he be denied his destiny. You see, Abyss isn't just a wrestler. He's chaos personified, destruction incarnate, and the end of everything you hold dear. One by one, I will unleash him on every man, every champion, every so-called legend who dares to step into his domain. Abyss will rip apart your bodies, crush your spirits, and feast on your fears. And there will be no mercy, no escape, and no salvation. TNA, consider this your warning. Abyss is coming, and when he does, the blood will flow, the screams will echo, and the company will never, ever be the same again. You wanted monsters? Oh, you're going to get one. And trust me, you'll all wish you hadn't. Take a moment and let the words sink in. So the crowd's white hot. It got a 59. And advanced the Wolf versus the Monster. The commentary quality lifted the segment, and the angle got the crowd hotter. So let's head to our next match. A little bit better. In a decent match, Chris Harris and James Storm defeated LAX in 15-24 when Harris pinned Homicide with the death sentence. So James Storm had a 61. Chris Harris had a 65. That's not bad. Hernandez had a 54, and Homicide had an in-ring performance of 56. It advanced our tag team warfare storyline. Harris and Storm showed excellent chemistry. They also got a tag team specialist bonus. Homicide and Hernandez had great chemistry when teaming together. They also got a tag team specialist bonus. Eric Young could have done a better job as a road agent. We already know that. The commentary quality lifted it. And I have to take Hector off of LAX because I did not realize that he was even their manager. So that is one more thing I need to look into after we're done here. So let's head to our next segment, which got a 70. That is fantastic. Detroit, Michigan, stand up. The Motor City Machine Guns are in the house. And we're ready to light it up. But you know what, Alex? Next week, It's not just about showing up and showing off, it's about proving why we're the best damn tag team on this planet. Absolutely, Chris. Next week, it's Motor City Machine Guns versus the British Invasion. Magnus and Doug Williams, you two fancy yourselves as a dominant force in the TNA tag team division, right? You think your stiff upper lips, your technical holds, and your little air of superiority make you untouchable? Newsflash, it doesn't. You're stepping into our world. High speed, high risk, high octane. You might bring the technical wrestling, but we bring the innovation, the creativity, and a level of teamwork you two couldn't replicate even if you wrote it down and studied it for weeks. And let's not forget one thing, British Invasion. We've been doing this for a long time, and we face the best of the best. We've taken our lumps, sure, but every time we hit the mat, we get back up stronger, faster, smarter. So you can come at us with your suplexes and your European style, but when the bell rings, you're going to find out why there's nobody better than us. Period. Next week, we're not just fighting for the win, we're fighting for respect for the fans who believe in the guns, for the people who have been there with us through every insane move, every jaw dropping match, and every single time we've stolen the show. Next week, the Motor City Machine Guns roll through the British Empire, and when we're done, there'll be nothing left but wreckage. So Magnus and Doug, bring everything you got, because when you step into the ring with the guns, you step into the fast lane. And when you're in the fast lane, there's no stopping until you crash and burn. Next week, we're taking you down. The Motor City Machine Guns are going to keep firing until we're the last ones standing. So the crowd is very hot at the end. The segment got a 70, which is the best we've gotten so far. The tag team warfare advanced and the color commentary lifted the segment. So let's head off to our next match. Ooh, boy, that is horrible. Oh, right. I made that match a little too long. So, in a decent match, Gail Kim and Tara defeated the Beautiful People in 12:16 when Gail Kim pinned Angelina Love. So, the crowd is now simmering down a little bit. The wrestling rating was a 63. The crowd rating was a 37. We got a 51. I totally messed that all up. So Tara had an in-ring performance of 47. Gail Kim had a 66. Angelina Love had a 64. Velvet Sky had a 73. It advanced our Knockouts reign storyline. Gail Kim and Tara showed excellent chemistry teaming together. Velvet Sky and Angelina Love got a tag team specialist bonus. Don West and Mike Tenay have pretty good chemistry when calling matches together. Eric Young could have done better as a road agent. The commentary quality lifted the match. The color commentary gave it a boost. The match went far too long for an eye candy match, and the match did its job and gave the crowd a breather. So let's head off to our next segment, which is a promo from Samoa Joe. Oh, there is just no... Oh boy, that totally messed up. Let's see if I can find everything in here. Oops. Okay, so let's see if I can fix this. TNA, the time to talk for is over. The time for excuses, for running, for pretending it's over. For far too long, I've watched others try to climb the throne in this company. For for too long, I've listened to the so-called best run their mouths about being champions, legends, and icons, but none of them have had to step into the ring and face the reality that is me. I am not a man who asks for respect, I take it. I am not a man who waits for opportunities, I make them. And I am not a man who follows rules, I break them. TNA is my battlefield, and this ring is my war zone. And anyone who steps in there with me is nothing more than a casualty waiting to happen. It doesn't matter if it's Kurt Angle, AJ Styles, Jeff Jarrett, or anyone who thinks that they are at the top. When the bell rings and you're standing across from me, the only thing you're thinking about is survival. But let me make it perfectly clear. I'm not here to survive. I'm here to be a part of the show. I'm here to own it, to reign over it, to carve my name into the very foundation of TNA so that every single person in that locker room and every fan around the world understands one thing. This is my company. The era of Samoa Joe is here. No one is safe. No one is untouchable. And no one, no matter how fast, how strong, or how talented, can stop me. So TNA, prepare yourselves. To anyone who thinks they can take me down, I've got a message for you. Step up, show up, and watch yourself get choked out, because this isn't just a warning. It's a promise. I am Samoa Joe, and I don't just beat people, I end them. So the crowd is hot and rising. The segment got a 57. Samoa Joe did not do well without a script. I tried to script him, and he told me he didn't want to, so I should have just left it alone. Jeremy Borash improvised well throughout the segment. The commentary quality lifted it, and the angle got the crowd hotter. So let's head to our next match. In a decent match, Samoa Joe defeated Amazing Red in 6:54 by submission. The crowd is white hot. The wrestling rating got a 62. The crowd rating got a 53, and the segment got a 70. Amazing Red got a 48. Samoa Joe had a 76, and the commentary quality lifted the match, and the segment got the crowd hotter. So let's head to our next segment. Cut the music. Genesis, January 21st, the day that will go down in history. Not just TNA history, but the history of professional wrestling, because on that night, we're going to crown the very first TNA World Heavyweight Champion. And let me tell you something, that champion is going to be me. Now, don't get me wrong, AJ Styles is one of the best competitors I've ever faced. He's got the athleticism, the talent, the heart. But let's get one thing straight, AJ Styles is not Kurt Angle. He hasn't won an Olympic gold medal. He hasn't faced the kind of adversity I've faced. And he hasn't sacrificed everything, blood, sweat, and tears, to the absolute best in this business. AJ, I've watched you grow into the face of TNA and the guys everyone looks up to. But at Genesis, you're stepping into the ring with the greatest wrestler on God's green earth. You're stepping into the ring with the best pure wrestler this business has ever seen. And AJ, when it comes to the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, it's not about respect. It's not about friendship. And it's about being the man who represents this company, who carries it on his back. And I'll be damned if I let anyone but me hold that title first. At Genesis, you're going to see the side of me you never seen before. I'm bringing the fight of my life, because that title means everything. That title means I'm not just the best wrestler in TNA, I'm the best wrestler in the world. And AJ, you're going to find out the hard way why they call me the wrestling machine. So Styles, prepare yourself. Watch all the tapes. Train harder than you ever have. And bring your best game, because at Genesis, when the dust settles and the referee raises my hand, the world will finally know what I already do. There's only one man who deserves to be the first ever TNA World Heavyweight Champion, and that's Kurt frickin' Angle. So the crowd is very hot. The segment got an 84. The performance of Kurt Angle was good. Eric Young could have done a better job, and the segment deserved better color commentary. So let's head to our main event. Ooh, I got a 69. That's not good. And about that had great wrestling and good heat. Kurt Angle and Abyss defeated AJ Styles and Desmond Wolfe in 1919 when Kurt Angle pinned Desmond Wolfe with an angle slam. In terms of ring work, Kurt Angle was head and shoulders above everybody else. The crowd heated. The end is very hot. The wrestling rating is a 74. The crowd rating is a 61. And the segment got a 69. Abyss had an in-ring performance of 64. Kurt Angle had a 94. Desmond Wolfe had a 60, and AJ Styles had an 84. That advanced the AJ Styles, Kurt Angle, Jeff Jarrett storyline. The Wolf versus the Monster. The creative finish was a failure. Abyss was off his game. Mike Tenay and Don West had good chemistry when calling matches. James Mitchell did good work at ringside. Abyss and Father James Mitchell have pretty good chemistry, and it got the crowd buzzing. So let's head to our last segment of the night. And it got an 84. So after the tag team main event, Jeff Jarrett makes his way into the ring and just blasts Kurt Angle right over the head with his guitar and just stands tall over him, saying, "Hey, you know what? Do you think you're going to be the world champion? Mm-mm. Not on my watch, son." So the overall show got a 71, which is fantastic. The show didn't result in any popularity changes, which is really weird. I'm surprised it didn't. And I used Desmond Wolfe too much, and he was only in one whole segment. So apparently 19 minutes is too much for Desmond. So let's finish that off. The financial report, we made $63,000. That's not bad. That is not bad at all. So let's... Okay, that is the end of everything. So that is the end of this first episode, and I will see everybody in the next one.